Ms. Bellick was absent, Mr. Marulli.
Here.
And I'm Joe Connor. And then tonight we have a John Highland, Borough Engineer.
Welcome, John.
Hello, how you doing? Good.
Public comment? Okay.
I don't believe anyone signed in.
Moving on. Adoption of minutes from August 25th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. Justine made the motion, Mike second. Any further discussion, comments, questions? All in favor of passing the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Moving on. New business. Item 1, PD Capital Lot Consolidation Plan, 501, 511 Washington Avenue, parcels 255-N-397 and 255-J-235. The plan proposes the consolidation of two existing parcels into one parcel. Review and discussion of plan. The borough engineer has completed plan review and it conforms to the borough's zoning ordinance and subdivision and land development ordinance. And recommendation to the borough council that the PD capital lot consolidation be approved pending application addressing concerns raised by Allegheny County Department of Economic Development.
So,
You got anything to add?
no, the only thing I had to add was the whole application and plan was in your packet. I'll defer the engineer's comments to John because he's here tonight, but Allegheny County did complete their plan review and supplied the applicant and their engineer with a couple of recommendations, and Gateway Engineers working for PD Capital did complete the request by Allegheny County. The applicant is Mr. Dadato here for PD Capital, so if you have any questions for him, he's here. And John, you remember that?
Yeah, the only thing we have is in reviewing the plans sitting here, there needs to be a clause added to the planning commission signature. So Gateway will put a term in our world of sticky back, just a sticker that goes on the plan for that signature block, and then we can get a process for it.
Anybody from planning commission have any questions, comments?
The parking, is that what you want to consolidate?
Yeah, so the reason why we're doing the consolidation is we wanted to expand our parking lot, but we can't have a parking lot on a standalone parcel. So we need to combine both parcels so that we can then come back to you with a parking lot expansion.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that, if it gets paved, does it have to be, I mean, it can be regular asphalt? Yeah,
Our ordinance says it just has to be dust free, so
okay,
an asphalt surface, ideal.
okay.
You're thinking about permeable surface.
Yeah. But what can we do about it? Anything? Nothing?
So it's the way it's done.
Okay.
Okay. Any further questions, comments?
Is there an access to that further where does this property end as opposed to, like, where the dumpsters are? Is that all your property, the dumpsters?
So the dumpster is our property, and then the grass behind it is our property, but Roberta Dreon, you almost have to look at a map, because she has a very skinny strip that's right next to her building, but then it widens as you get towards First Commonwealth Bank.
Right, okay.
But she actually has the right of way on that road that First Commonwealth Bank is on. We have a little strip that runs all the way to the end. So we have enough to add several parking spaces by doing consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
But her building, she has some of that as well.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions? I would consider a motion
I'll make the motion.
to recommend to the Borough Council that addressing any concerns of the Allegheny County Department of Economic Development.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And, Bob, this will be on our council agenda for October 13th.
Perfect.
We done.
Okay.
And
Thank
this
you.
week I'll shoot your engineer an email
Okay.
following up with what John just said about the language for the planning commission to sign off on the plan.
Okay,
We'll be good.
excellent.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, okay. Item 2, our new business. Conditional use permit application. Mosbeck Manufacturing of 1124 McLaughlin Run Road. Application to operate light manufacturing facilities within existing building in the M-MNO zoning district. So we'll review review and discuss the application. Borough engineer has completed plan review and it conforms to the borough zoning ordinance and subdivision land development ordinance. Once the application addresses the noted concerns, recommendation, and then we'll make a recommendation to borough council to approve having recommendations. So the information was in your packet. We've got the conditional use review number 2 letter. Joe, you have anything?
Yes, we have two gentlemen from Mossblock here tonight to speak for any questions in regard to their operation. They're an existing light manufacturer right across the municipal line, up McLaughlin Run in Upper St. Clair. From talking to them, they intend to rent this facility. They won't be the owner. They will rent this facility to expand their light manufacturing operation, essentially an annex to what they have going on the street. The facility has sat vacant for several years now. You may remember it being A&H equipment. They repaired street sweepers and municipal heavy equipment there. And before that, it used to be a bus garage for BG bus lines. The conditional use process is that light manufacturing within the mixed use overlay district, what that is down there, is permitted by conditional use. So there's a number of we'll call them caveats that they have to address before zoning approval is permitted. They have submitted their plans to get that conditional use zoning approval, and you'll see in plan review letter 1 there was 5 concerns raised by John. John will speak to that. And subsequent to that, after the packets went out to the board, Friday at close of business, we received a response to plan review letter 1, and the engineer was very diligent to get a turnaround of that plan review done within a day, and we have that on your agenda tonight, that everything that was raised in plan review letter 1 has been addressed. So the application as it stands meets all the caveats that's listed for conditional use for light manufacturing in that district, provided there's not any additional conditions you guys bring up and recommend to the borough council beyond that. So to outline the process, once you guys discuss it and raise any conditions, if you have any, a recommendation you made to borough council, there's a MPC clock that we have to stay within. So conditional use, once we get planning commission recommendation, then triggers a public hearing. So a public hearing will be held before our council meeting on October 13th. Traditional public hearing requirements for the borough. Every property owner within 300 feet of this facility will get a letter from me this week. We'll post the property, run an advertisement in the paper for 2 weeks. Public hearing will be at 6:30 before the council meeting. And then the council that on the 13th would make a decision to grant the conditional use permit or not. It was kind of nice on a personal level to just take a drive up the streets. I wasn't familiar with their operation. We didn't have to go far to see what you got. And you drive up McLaughlin Run Road, you see it's a very clean operation. There's no outside storage, very clean for facility. Looks to be like a good neighbor, and I would hope that that would be reciprocated when they would operate within Bridgeville. So before you guys entertain questions to the applicant sits in the audience. John's here to entertain any questions you would have on the plan reviews, and John can go over them as well.
One quick question. You said there's a clock that starts ticking. Does that start ticking tonight after when we pass this on to council, or does it start ticking?
It started when we receive an application. We have 60 days
Okay.
to respond. So we got it, we responded very quickly. Quick turnaround on plan reviews, and then doing public hearings isn't an easy task. It's kind of nice that it's all falling into place very well.
Yep.
So the 60-day clock of time of applications then will be now. Okay.
Okay, so the original submission, the only comments we had were all related to parking was important, and there's one about traffic, and if you propose to use or exceed a specified amount of trips, you have to do a full traffic study. They're using the IT trip manual, the applicant provided the documentation to show that those will not that have more than the threshold of trips. So there's, we addressed all the comments. The rest of the comments had to do with what they're exactly proposing to do with parking. They clarified that all in the resubmission, so everything's been addressed. They're not changing the parking or anything that's out there, so there's no change to require anything regarding the landscape orders or anything like that.
And then, as you see in the plan review letter, the second one, it essentially says this is a change of use for the building. So if you had to look big picture of where this would go, and provided that they want to operate here, once they receive zoning approval through conditional use, they would have to apply for a building permit to do the change of use on the facility, get a building permit before they can occupy. And then their steps at the municipal level have been achieved.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Questions?
Yeah, I have questions. Only because I've been going past and forth your building. So I see that you have a lot of, well, I should say a lot. You have several tractor trailer trucks going in and out. And what do you plan on manufacturing in this particular building? The smaller products or the bigger products?
We'll be manufacturing the larger products, most likely.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
And so those would require a larger tractor trailer?
correct.
Right? And you would need a crane to lift those, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so what we do now at our current facility is we rent a crane for the day.
Oh, okay.
And so we have it on site for the day. It typically only takes an hour or two to actually do the loading,
Okay.
but we have to coordinate it with the flatbed truck. So the whole process usually ends up taking 4 hours, where we rent a crane, load the equipment on the truck, and then it pulls away.
And then we'll be able to accomplish that in that parking lot then? I mean, in that front lot?
Correct, and we're also evaluating different means to lift the equipment, because it is expensive to rent the crane for the day. So we're considering, a fork truck or a piece of equipment that we can park inside of our building.
Okay.
When needed, take it out, move the equipment, and load it on the truck.
Does the lift come in that day? Does the crane come in that day or the hours prior to that?
Comes in that day.
Okay.
We generally use Loma, who's local
Yep,
here.
yeah.
It's Loma who we work with.
Okay.
So Loma, when we arrange it, time it, Loma will bring it over
That day.
or that morning, and then as soon as the truck arrives, they hook everything up, load it, then truck leaves and crane pulls up and goes home.
How much does that larger piece weigh?
Close to 21,000 pounds.
Are bridges or roads having a problem with that?
They haven't so far.
Yeah.
No,
That's what I.
because we're loading those up just further up McLaughlin Run Road now.
Right, so you do come through Bridgeville
And those
already?
trucks do come through Bridgeville all the time.
Okay, all right. Would this add any more trucks to your weekly operation on McLaughlin Road?
Yeah, the goal is to expand our production capacity, so we are expecting probably 3 more trucks per month.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
And so the majority of the traffic at our building is for our smaller products.
Mhm.
These large ones that we'd be building at this new facility is the large ones. They take us about 6 weeks to build. So yeah, the volume we're hoping to get to is 3 to 4 per month at this new facility. So the large, crane loading of the trucks
Yeah.
would be about 3 to 4 a month.
And so that's in addition to however many you're doing now, right?
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
correct.
Okay,
Yeah, so.
all right.
But to give you some perspective, we're shipping around 150 products, these load bank products per month. But some of them are the size of a suitcase.
Right.
And depending on the variety of customers we have that month really dictates how much, traffic we get at our other facility.
All right. And you said most of your manufacture is going to be within the building, correct?
It would all be within the building, the only thing outside the building would be loading.
Okay. And your time, your work hours are, what, 8 to 7?
7 to 3:30.
Okay.
Is that Monday through Friday, or, okay.
Correct, yep.
there is sometimes overtime offered,
Yeah, I feel like I just drove past your building on a Saturday recently.
and,
The
yeah,
parking lot was full, like.
yeah, we've been busy enough where there's been a lot of overtime offered in the last couple months.
So are you expecting some occasional Saturdays?
There would be some Saturdays. I mean, we wouldn't be loading or shipping on a Saturday. That would be
Okay.
just people inside the building.
Okay.
That'd be people inside the building doing assembly work.
Okay.
Are you gonna feed the deer while you're there?
We had a subtenant up the road that used to actually do that. And when I had a flock of 20 turkeys come down and attack someone's Escalade, we had to ask the subtenant to please cease and desist, because we weren't gonna be responsible for the damage being done to the cars in the upper parking lot. And it's quite a sight seeing 20 turkeys fly off that hill
Yeah,
across the road.
I think that was in your parking lot, right?
Yes.
On the hillside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they would set out a little pallet with food so they could see the deer and the turkeys and other wildlife come by. I did see a coyote run by about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, there's coyotes in the neighborhood.
So I guess the only other thing that, and since you're renting, I just found out that your intent is to rent this building. And I did ask, when A&H Equipment was there, because, you're very close to the McLaughlin Park, right?
Right.
And one of the things, growing up on McLaughlin Road, we always used to be traffic was nowhere near what it is right now. But anyway, so A&H was actually leaving their trucks and washing their trucks on the parking lot there, all right? And people would park right up to the road. Now, in the summertime, the kids had a hard time. They either had to go on the road to get around the cars or whatever. So my question to us, or to our group, is that whether or not we could get some sort of signage, not signage, but lines on your lot there, on that lot, so that it could be a pedestrian walkway.
Designates a walkway
Right,
across the
right.
front along the road.
So,
Yeah, that
I
shouldn't
don't,
impact our-
as long as someone tells us where to put the lines, I don't see that being an issue.
okay, all right, okay. And that's about it.
Mike?
No, I'm good. What kind of machines? I saw hand tools and stuff. You do like sheet metal work or anything there,
we work with local vendors for all our fabrication, so we're not doing any fabrication
I
ourselves.
mean, if anything, they put a hole in a panel in the wrong place, we might have to drill that out. No, we're not fabricating.
I mean, like, that would make a difference. I'm just curious.
I'm thinking about signage, but I don't know how to ask my question, so. Joe, what is the building signage? What are the requirements in this district?
Same as we have for
we would apply for, I'm assuming there's a permit for, you have to apply for a permit for the sign or whatever to have it approved. But it wouldn't be anything, it's not like we'd be putting up a giant post, it would be just some, most likely mounted on the
Neon
building.
lights.
I know these.
Okay.
And conditional use requirements per borough code, what is the noise ordinance for this?
It's just the same as performance standards for any facility. Yeah, 65 decibels, and it has to be done by 9 o'clock, 7 to 9, for maintenance and construction, 7 to 9.
7 AM to 9 PM.
Correct, and then like recreation uses are, it's 11 PM.
Okay,
Like emergency stuff is like exempt, but that's, I'm shooting from my hip, I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
all right, now I'm done.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I would entertain a motion to recommend to Borough Council conditional use be approved, pending inclusion of any recommended conditions. Do we have anything we want to add as far as conditions?
Just Justine's park.
Just the parking, just
The
the
pedestrian.
pedestrian alleyway, walkway. Okay,
Make a motion.
okay,
I'll second.
okay. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
When you move the plan to be up and running there?
I'm estimating it will be 3 months or so to get the building operational once we sign the lease. So the goal right now is February to have it operational. And I think that's optimistic if everything goes well.
Yeah. It always is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have anything more for the engineer?
No.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
All right,
Yeah, we'll be in
thanks.
touch.
Okay.
But like I said to the first group, is we'll be sending you a letter, but you'll be on the agenda for the October council meeting.
Okay.
The requirement for public, conditional use is a public hearing beforehand. It sounds more scary than what it is. All it is essentially allows people to come to give public comment in support of.
You live across the street, you might want to know who's moving in.
Right.
Correct, that's all it is. So at 6:30 will be a public hearing before the council meeting. And then during the council meeting, there will be an agenda item to grant your permit with any conditions.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Glasses?
Larry?
Oh, good.
There you go. You were sitting up there earlier.
Oh, good.
Right, without these, it's easy.
Yeah, it'd be hard to darken in the rain with the glasses.
Okay, old business. Comprehensive plan project implementation updates.
I didn't have any updates for these two items, knowing that we had two regular agenda items for tonight.
Okay,
Like real.
And then I have another lot consolidation will be on, or not a subdivision for next month.
okay. Keeping us busy, Joe.
Yeah, it's good, these are good things.
Yes, it is. Okay. Does anybody else have any comments regarding comprehensive plan project stuff? Okay. Active transportation implementation updates. We're gonna have a ribbon cutting for the stairway, like we had for the park, or,
I don't know. But that was a very nice ceremony we did last time.
Yeah,
Oh,
was
it
nice.
was very nice. And it was a very good turnout. Everyone had a role.
It was nice to meet the people from DCNR.
I was happy to see her come.
Yeah,
They can cheat
yeah.
it all afterwards.
Huh?
They were getting cheated out afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Good, yeah.
Like, she lives, I live far.
Yes, they're not from the area.
She's in Beaver or something, Beaver County?
Yeah, some are far. I know she's family somewhere down this way.
said she stops occasionally to check on things, so it's good. So we'll have to go and check those trees coming out of the tubes.
Yeah, we can go look at them. She also offered that if we wanted to do any kind of educational programs, that she could help with that, or get us connected with somebody from Penn State Extension.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's start thinking of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that would be good to do some sort of
Yeah,
educational
yeah.
program down there for that. I think that'd be a great idea to do some educational program down there.
You could probably tie in with like some of the school, like CD, like get the teachers to bring their students and stuff, and like a field trip.
Oh, yeah, they can help lead.
Weed. It's all native grasses, there's no weeds there.
Oh, there's weeds in there. And then,
It's all weeds to me. I don't know what I'm looking at.
They're native weeds.
no,
There's some-
well, the
When
poison hemlock,
We treated that.
yeah.
When those black-eyed Susans bloom,
It was pretty.
seed, it'll be a
Yeah.
seed, it'll be gold.
Yeah.
It'll really,
And the thing is, like I said, it's easy to reseed.
yeah.
I mean, you know, what's the saying about first year this, second year that? and-
First year creeping, no, first
No,
year weeping,
sleeping.
second year.
Sleeping,
Sleeping,
creeping,
creeping.
leaping.
I said it's gonna take a couple of years.
Yeah,
Yeah, it takes like definitely 2 winter cycles to, I mean, the asters were already, between the asters and the black-eyed Susans, fall's gonna be like incredible down there.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. Environmental Advisory Committee. Creation of Bridgeville Garden Club discussion.
And we said we were kind of gonna let that be its own little, like let it be.
Like outside planning.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Yeah.
just asked for it to be on the agenda.
But we,
Yeah.
Drinking?
The last one, you put that on the agenda for next month.
Okay. Do we need a motion to just?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because really, it's nothing to do with us.
Okay. Dark sky regulation discussion.
well, I do think, who was O'Shane at the council meeting brought up a good topic about, when we did discuss briefly the letter that we received from the gentleman, Mike Myers.
Refresh my memory.
I don't know.
It did go to council, or it did go to planning commission. When it came time for the public hearing for the zoning update, we received a letter from Mark Burton suggesting,
Not Mike Myers.
suggesting
you think it would
dark
help.
sky regulations for the downtown.
Okay.
considered.
Okay.
So
But
it's the
anyway,
letters provided to council.
Shane did bring up the subject, what are you supposed to do? How much more expensive is it? So part of what I'm gonna do is to find out. I'll probably talk to somebody at Dark Sky and see, how does that work? How much more expensive is it? And, do we need to do this as a timed thing,
A phase,
gradual
yeah,
phase in?
yes, yeah.
So
Yeah,
that,
it's not something that's gonna happen overnight, it's gonna be something that has to be phased in and,
right, yeah.
but, and I apologize, I started looking at the Dark Sky website and started reading a bunch of that stuff, and I did not get through it as much as I really wanted to. But there's a lot of information out there, and I personally would like to do a little bit more research on this. I think it's a good idea. It was something that was instituted as the college campus I was on in Minnesota. And changing out light fixtures and that sort of thing was something that was phased in over 4 or 5 years. It wasn't, because it is expensive because of just changing out lights. And, especially, we can do it on a municipal level, but then trying to phase in stuff, if we have some sort of ordinance, trying to phase that in is a whole nother.
And I think we also should, leave that for a different time period. But yeah, so I'm fine with that. We just work towards that goal of trying to get something accomplished. And so, And see, that's what we could do down at McLaughlin Park too. We could have stargazing, give dim those big ball field lights and.
They're gone.
No, they're still there.
Are the ball field lights still there? They don't get used at all anymore.
They work, because I know when we did the excavation after the flood project, part of the contract was to make sure that the lights got reconnected because some conduit had to be moved.
All right, so,
Yeah, you know, stargazing at McLaughlin Run Park is gonna be a little bit easier than behind the library.
yeah,
You know, I mean, it's not, there's just so much light from downtown
right.
that impacts that. Anybody else got ideas, thoughts? Okay. I'm all in favor of trying to do this, I just wanna take our time.
I like the idea, I mean, I think it's a really good idea. There's so many benefits across the board for it.
I mean, you know, here's what I think. If at any time we could get grant money to redo the streetlights.
Yeah.
Okay, so number one, we're talking about adding streetlights on the south side, correct? Both sides, okay? So, you know, if that does ever occur, then, you know, do we want to change out all the streetlights on Washington Avenue? Can we get grant money to do that? And if we were able to achieve to get grant money, could we see that it would be compliant with a softer light? And that's, you know, that's all I'm thinking about is in the future, if we ever are able to accomplish that, then I think it should be in place.
I agree.
Okay, any other thoughts, comments? I will certainly continue looking at some of this. It's a lot more involved. I wasn't involved with the campus stuff as much as I wanted to, but I think it's a good thing to consider.
Should I have it back on the agenda for next month?
Yeah. Can't hurt. Unless you got a bunch of other, you know, we have a really busy agenda, we can always table it and come back to it. Bridgeville Shade Tree Commission's inaugural meeting will be held Monday, October 6th at 7 p.m.
I mean, every month, every Monday,
Now, they're only meeting once a
Oh, yeah,
quarter,
that's
right,
true.
or as needed. Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question, especially since I went to that Upper St. Clair Planning Committee meeting and found out that the Bridgeville lot for the Thompson part was probably going to be excavated quite a bit, all right, so that they could build their clubhouse and that. But they did give an indication that there was going to be some foliage, some trees still left, all right? Is that something that we could ask the Shade Tree Commission to look into, you know, what hardwoods there are? Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
When we wrote that ordinance, it was very laissez-faire. You're only dealing with a park. You're only dealing with municipal properties. If you remember, it was very, don't tread on me.
Yeah.
So no. But we do have the environmental advisory aspects that kick in during land development. So I think it's something we could maybe speak to John to in that respect. But to get involved from the shade tree on private property, that ordinance,
okay.
that
All
ordinance
right.
is not written.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're gonna, if they're gonna develop up there, they still have to come before the planning commission.
Yeah.
and
Correct.
council, so
Yes.
And
we'll have a chance to.
And their commissioners did tell that guy that they need to go look at what trees are already there. All right, so I don't know whether or not.
But I don't have any updates, like I don't have an
Yeah.
application, I don't have, I to the Shade Tree meeting, is that we received news, this is more for the other commission, but it's nice for you guys, and you guys are always active volunteers. We've got word that the Conservancy is gonna fund another fall tree planting here. And
Oh,
it's
great.
scheduled for Saturday, November 1st, 9 a.m. meeting here. And we're doing Baldwin Street lots again, and
Wait,
we're
November
talking on Park, November 1st.
Where are we out of town?
It's Saturday.
How convenient.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna be out of the country.
Wow.
9 a.m. And we usually get like 25, 30
Right,
people.
right.
They don't last more than an hour and a half. They're really fun events.
Yeah.
I enjoy them.
Baldwin Street and where else?
Lockman Park.
Cool.
No more on Cook School Park? Since you cleared out that ridge?
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Maybe that's something next week, pine trees or something.
Yeah, just planting the idea.
We should talk
No
to
pun
some of the
intended.
shade tree commission. That'd be a good
I
conversation.
said no pun, plant the idea, no pun intended.
I was happy that those trees up there really made an impact in the area.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, yeah, and the neighbors got really vocal about that hillside being cleared out, because now anybody up in the park can just look right down in their backyards.
It was a lot of, it needed cleared out because it was just a lot of
A lot of dead stuff,
It was
yeah.
all dead stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you start pulling out the dead stuff, everything was choked in by vines.
Yeah.
So there wasn't much left. But it's nice you bring up that Cook School, because like planning, this is like the planner. It's all, it's like, we were very methodical. We did a lot of improvements in that park. Got the neighborhood to buy in with the trees. We just finished all the roads in that little neck of the neighborhood there.
They look nice, Joe.
So it's like, okay, that area is done, challenge, move on. So it was very methodical while we paved up there, so that all the park and everything's all done. It's nice, it's like just going down great.
And that park is heavily used now.
It is.
It's the paddle ball courts or whatever they are.
Yeah.
They're busy all the time.
Good.
I was surprised, like, we went to in the block in the park, how many people were at the park.
Yeah.
On a Thursday evening, they weren't there for the thing, they're just there.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That was-
It's unique when you see like people badmouth our parks on Facebook, you can tell they haven't been in our park in 10 years.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, you've never been there in 5, 10 years.
Yeah, really nice.
One of the other things I had talked to Joe about earlier this week was whether or not, do we want to maybe look to see if we can do a little pocket park up on his side of the,
We've been talking about that for.
you know, because I went and picked up something from Marketplace, and it was in Upper St. Clair, right?
Yeah.
And it was, they had a dead end circle, right? And right behind it was this little teeny tiny park.
Could we start looking to see where we could put something like that up there?
Yeah, I mean, we can just do a little pocket park, that's all.
We've been talking about how you need something on.
Right.
That's,
Yeah.
just something.
Is there public land up there?
There's some things here and there, you know, it's a good thing, and then it's like, oh man, is that about, I said about we have a subdivision coming next month before, on May Avenue, there's an area where there's some vacant lots that'd be perfect for it, which is a good thing though, that an application's received to subdivide them into 2 lots to build 2 homes. So it's like, okay, that's good, but that would have been,
Yeah.
that's really the only easy spot right now.
Yeah.
So we have to look, but at least there's a good plan coming, which is optimal, it's probably in our better interest anyways, but yes, there's somewhere. The Myrtle one's a decent amount, probably, but it's a hill, yeah.
Yeah.
And on a map, it actually was supposed to be a park, but it never was. And there's a lady who has that lot for sale, you know, there is, yeah, there's places, you just gotta be creative.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something we can start looking around.
Okay, well, keep your eyes peeled, Joe. Okay, anything else?
Public comment?
Yeah, I want to get to our comments first. We got anything else here? Okay, public comment?
Thank you.
Would you like to sign in? Before you do?
dark skies, which I love to expand to just lighting in the skies. To me, a great deal of the lighting, of our night lighting in Bridgeville is the boroughs. As Justine pointed out, if we could get grant money, new lighting. Joe, lights burn out, right? Even the LEDs. Not often, but they do burn out. And we're hitting the life expectancy of some of these LEDs, I think. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is at the next meeting, maybe, and I don't mean to put, yes, I do mean to put more work on you, Joe, because you're good at it. Maybe our manager could come back with some ideas as to improving the lighting, the street lighting, both on Washington Avenue, old, and our expansion plans to the north and south end. And more importantly, the street lighting in our residential neighborhoods. The color of the lights is not conducive to human sleep. Okay? It's not pleasant. It is what's out there. But we never had anyone that was able to do the research to bring back to this body, or for that matter, council, information on what could be done. I don't know. For all I know, Mr. Cowler, we have the best we can get. And nothing more needs done. But I'm very happy to hear the Planning Commission is interested in dark skies, and I look forward to hopefully seeing something at the next meeting, because you have it on the agenda.
Well, and the stuff in the neighborhoods is owned by the power company. So we didn't have a lot of say in that. We have the new LED streetlights
Yes.
in the neighborhood.
But they're not, when you say they're owned, but we pay a lot of money for them every month, those streetlights. And we do have input into what we, as a municipality, we buy those. Am I correct?
We don't
Meaning,
buy them.
we don't buy, we rent them on a monthly basis. They maintain them. We, as the borough, have an input into what we as a borough get.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't, you know.
Yeah.
Perhaps you could find out.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
Okay, when the last time this was even brought up was many years ago when we went from mercury vapor to LEDs. And the question for the borough manager, Lori Collins, at that time was, she brought up, we should go with LEDs. And it was brought up, but there are different kinds of LEDs, some of which are really good for for residential areas. And there was no research, there was no back and forth, there was no questions. This is what we're doing. Motion seconded, all in favor, aye, and it went on, and we have those harsh blue LED lights. I don't know, maybe those are the only lights ever manufactured by man, and there is nothing else. West Penn Power only does it this way.
Well,
we have no choice.
a lot has changed with the LED industry in the last 5-7 years. And so, you know, and to go through and change all of them out is gonna be expensive. But, no,
I wouldn't even suggest changing any of them out. All I'm suggesting is that our manager find information, just information, on if one of those lights burns out, can we replace that light with something that is better for our residents? That's all I'm suggesting. Not changing all of them, just if one of them burns out, can we replace it with something better?
This is what, since I've been going to the parking authority meetings, and they've been putting new lights in a lot of their lots. Especially, I think the one down on Baldwin Street, they just installed. And then the lot up near PNC, they had some burnout ones, and they, got new ones and that stuff. And I asked, because they were getting ready to order these lights, and I said, is there any way that you could potentially see something that is not as bright as what is currently there? And I about had my head chopped off. But anyway.
I don't know, but I'll be very honest with you. I know this board is very open to dim lights, nature. And most people are very sensitive about a streetlight because they feel like it's a public safety matter. And I get calls that the streetlight's out in front of grandma's house, and they
Yeah.
feel like my grandma's going to be robbed. And
Yeah,
so like,
he,
so it's not as easy as this. So,
We run my
We are a
mind
city
the other
setting,
time
yeah.
that there is public safety involved,
If
so.
in my mind, it's not
Sometimes
the
it's just
lumens, it's not the
direction.
intensity of the light. I know
It's the
we're
frequency.
hijacking dark skies. By dark skies, it sounds like dim the lights down. No. But it's more than that, it's the temperature, it's the color of the lights.
It's the color of the light, it's the words the light's being directed, it's everything, Pat.
Yes,
We know, yeah, dark
And-
sky, we understand what dark sky is.
you understand it, but that's what Justine's pointing out, that, wait a minute here. And she used, pardon me for being nitpicky, but you used the word to dim the lights. And the words matter. It's not about dimming them, it's about making them more pleasant. And that's what I'm trying to convey. And it could be much with the same lumens, with the same brightness, with the same ability to see what's going on in your neighborhood without it impacting public safety. It could be all of that, but we can't do any of it without a little bit of.
I'd be more than
information.
happy to look into what our supplier offers.
Yeah. Now, if I, since you've been kind enough to let me speak on something that's on the agenda, I will be very brief about
I'm
something that's
sorry,
not.
time. Go
Which
ahead.
is,
Make it quick.
you've got a lot of work to do on the north end. There is a lot of planning. You have a tremendous amount that has to be done. I know that you've got a budget request for some traffic studies, but those traffic studies are one piece. I would submit to the planning commission, you've got some hard decisions to make. Where should there be parking? What should you do with the railroad bridge? What kind of bridge? What kind of,
So Pat, you were here a couple months ago yelling at us for not putting on the agenda. You
yes?
know, we took, now it's on the agenda, now we're yelling at us for not doing it.
No,
We're getting the ball rolling, Pat.
Well,
I mean, we know that that's all part of it. You're not gonna tell us that we have to find parking down there,
Okay,
and then the
Mike.
bridge, the railroad bridge is a problem. We know that.
You missed my
And
whole
we
back
will
and
cross the
forth there.
railroad bridge when we get to it.
Oh, well, we're hopefully getting to it, but Mike, the reason I'm bringing it up at this point on the agenda, as I said, thank you for allowing me to speak to something that was on the agenda. I'm speaking about it because it isn't on your agenda.
Tonight's agenda had a lot on it that was
And
probably
I'm-
gonna take a
I'm-
lot longer than what it did, and you weren't here for that. You came in
I
after
know,
all
I
the
came
vote
in
business.
after, and I'm very happy that you approved the
You know
subdivision.
what's on the agenda?
Yes,
Comprehensive plan.
okay,
You know what's in the comprehensive plan?
the
North
north,
end.
you're getting there. All
So,
I'm asking is, take a look at the bridge, take a look at the things. There's a lot of, Mike, as you said, there's a lot of work to do. Right. It wouldn't,
It's-
it
we're
wouldn't
not
hurt to
bli-
have
we're-
some
We're
discussion.
not blind to the railroad bridge, we're not blind to
I
the.
only brought that particular one up. Any one of the dozens of hard decisions that you need to work on. You're doing great.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussions, comments, rude remarks? I'll accept the motion to,
I'm making a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye.